This has been an absolutely torturous video journaling afternoon. I just can't get into any kind of flow. All of the different topics that I've been trying to talk about have just felt like not real, like not worth. Like I've almost felt like a fake like TV personality that's like reading from a script and like, you know, late night television kind of thing. Like and you know, got the audience has to laugh now, like applause button, like or even the fake laugh track, like everybody's laughing, but not really, because this is the fakest shit that anybody has ever seen in the history of the world. So that's where we're beginning from, and we will conclude with this journal. This will be today's journal. I've had enough. So for those who are new, that was an unfortunate introduction for you, but this is my video journal. It's not intended to be advice or guidance. I'm just expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. And I don't know where this fakeness is coming from. Probably I'm a little bit exhausted mentally and mentally, really. Physically a little bit, like I have been doing a lot of stuff, but it's probably mental exhaustion. I've just been problem solving a lot and fitting a lot into my schedule. So when it finally comes time to do a journal, I'm just like, what's the first thing that pops into my head? Cool, let's talk about that. And you know, sometimes it works okay, and other times I am just disappointed with myself, and I don't want to feel that when I post something. Like, I'd rather just delete all of them, even including this one, and just like go home. But I'm also pushing through because I'm determined to keep my commitment to myself and to keep these journals happening. And you know, lately I've been really taking it seriously in terms of trying to be real. Like, if I'm really frustrated and had enough of trying to record, then like that's what you're gonna get. The realness. I've been, maybe as you get worn out, you start to react to things a little bit more as well. And one thing that's been really grinding my gears lately is like the psychedelic community. And I've been exposed to a lot of people just somehow telling me all of these fantastical stories about all the trips that they've had. Or I saw Adam from Psych Substance had a massive like 180 turnaround when he lost his family and that because he was doing too many drugs. And I watched a little bit of his video where he was talking about how, you know, the drugs did help me. They like I don't want to say that psychedelics can't help cure addiction, but I've been addicted again and again and again and again and again. Like, I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of like the narrative where, you know, it's just all bullshit. And I just don't have the patience or the tolerance for people coming to me telling me their trip stories anymore. Because like I've done it all, you know, as well. Like I've seen it all. I'm not speaking from not having the experience of taking psychedelics. Like I did all the psychedelics, and I can confidently say that it's not a solution to anybody's problem. I do believe that big pharma and like, you know, the kinds of medications that are being prescribed for mental health are 1 billion times worse than natural substances, but a natural substance is still masking the cause of the effect. Sure, people have these visionary experiences where they have deep insights and epiphanies about themselves, and they have the ability to make changes once they've had those realizations, but this shit doesn't even scratch the surface of what you really need to be looking at. And it's filled with distortion, and you know, it's still a drug. You're still having like this experience that's removing you from reality. Like you're still running away from your shit. No matter how much you say like you want to be all new agey and say you've got the intention and you're gonna do all this stuff, like I fucking see you guys, you don't do shit. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like I'm just over it, and I'm over like people making a fortune out of the, manipulation of young people, and then like kind of everybody assuming that I'm a part of that that's why I'm reacting, because I'm like, every time I see that shit I see myself, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be a part of this. And I guess maybe the next step is to delete all of my psychedelic content. Imagine that. Like even my most viral content. I don't think that I need to do that at this stage, because I also see that people come seeking something outside of themselves, and they send me a message or an email or anything like that, or find me at an event, and I pretty much just steer them in the direction of like, everything you need is inside of you, and all of this psychedelic shit is nonsense. It's just all entrapment designed to keep you distracted from finding your true power. Like a lot of people are going to hate that, and it doesn't really matter. That's probably another thing that I've been annoyed by, because I'm getting real and I'm like actually doing well now, and taking steps, creating what I want to create, manifesting the reality that I want to live in. But because it doesn't sound like all fairies and woohoo new agey, like manifest magic, blah blah blah, it's not enticing anymore. Like, because I'm not trying to entrap your minds into an alternate reality full of nonsense and bullshit. Like, people are unsubscribing and like getting the shits with me. But yeah, I'm also frustrated at you. Why am I reacting so much? I know I just said it. I said because every time I see this stuff I see myself. And yeah, it's the thing that's the most frustrating is it's so easy. Like, you could make a fortune promoting any form of escape to humans, and they would absolutely love it. Like, they'd be like, you're the best person on the planet for supporting my drug habit or supporting my escape, and like creating a narrative around this, creating a culture around this that makes it okay for me to not take responsibility for my own life. And like, I guess an even deeper layer of frustration with this is I got conned into it. Like, I didn't create this shit. I got conned into it just like everybody else. Like, yeah, these drugs are so fantastic and they're going to show us the truth and all this. Like, no, they're just going to completely scramble your spirit and confuse the shit out of you, and make you subscribe to a whole bunch of cult leaders basically who want to like, plant all this stuff in your mind that isn't going to be beneficial to you in any way. And I've got the objective evidence to back up. Like, I can see myself on psychedelics and I can see myself off psychedelics, and the results are far superior when I have mental clarity, total alignment with my spirit, and I'm not entrapped in any of these games. I said I was gonna get real. It got real quick, didn't it, guys? Ooh. Even fucking calling out Adam. Yeah. Don't worry, everybody else. I'm not going to talk about any other characters in the psychedelic community. But Adam, he knows what's up. Like, I don't think he would even be mad if he saw this. He would just be like, yeah, that's how it is. Like, I fucked up. Like, he's been like going back and forward with it for ages, just from my observations. Like, he knows, like, he's in deep with some shit that he doesn't understand, and he doesn't really know how to, grapple with it. He wants to have a better life, but he's just stuck in this cycle. And he's also now one of the biggest psychedelic YouTube channels in the world, so he's responsible for like millions of young people potentially deepening their exploration. I don't want to say responsible for taking drugs at all, because they're always going to probably discover them, but like, he's probably encouraged the deepening of the exploration of these substances, and many substances. He's been there, done that with it, fucking absolutely everything. So it would be quite intense. Like, that's probably why he's like still kind of not saying psychedelics aren't the answer, because he's like, I've kind of been pushing these things to millions of people for ages, and just like me right now, I feel like, oh shit, people are going to be pissed off at me, and I'm nobody like in the psychedelic community really. But like, I don't really want to be sitting here saying this because I know everybody's going to be mad because I'm taking away their super fun, happy roller coaster theme park of escape and freedom, and saying like, you know what you got to replace that with? Responsibility. And that's what's actually going to free you from all the crap and make you be able to create a life full of abundance and joy and all the things that, you know, you get to experience for 4 to 6 hours if you take a substance like this. Maybe if you don't have a nightmare bad trip and all of your demons come up. And not to mention all of the other unforeseen consequences that affect you moving forward throughout your life from these substances. But there is a plus side to all of this. If you are somebody who's still watching, you must be okay with what's coming out of my mouth right now. The plus side is that we have a way to realign you with your spirit, and you know, that's thanks to my teacher and mentor Steve Richards, who created holographic kinetics. Like, you can undo all of the scrambling that psychedelics have done, and you can get in alignment with your own spirit, and you can get on track. So that's awesome. This is a really strange way to tell you this, but yeah, how real can I possibly get? This is the truth. Like, this is me like fully saying some stuff that I've had swirling around inside of me. And it's, you know, I've talked in journals, like I push all this stuff to the side. I'm not going to talk about that, and I just talk about something simpler. And how did I start this journal? I've been talking about a whole bunch of nonsense crap, and like I've been here all afternoon trying to record a journal, and this is what's really inside of me, and this is what wanted to come out. And I've been avoiding it because I'm scared that people are gonna, like, there's a huge psychedelic new agey community that's just gonna be like, fuck that guy, but fuck you guys for no, it's not even your fault. Like, it's nobody's, and I'm not even judging your journey. You do whatever you want, actually. But like, yeah, there's a lot of reaction here. Should probably look at like myself more than anybody else. But also I think there'll be a lot of value in me speaking my mind about drugs a little bit more. One of the most popular journals that I've done in the last year or so was Don't Do Drugs. You should go check that video out. It's much gentler. Like, if you want to maybe give one of your friends who love drugs the nudge to stop doing drugs, I wouldn't send them this one. It's just going to make them angry, or make them more reactive and probably disconnect from you further and go deeper into the drugs. But if you wanted to, you know, introduce the idea of maybe drugs aren't the best way to, you know, figure out the secrets of the universe, or figure out your own life even for a start, then yeah, find the video that's called Don't Do Drugs, and that's a much gentler introduction to these kinds of thoughts and feelings. If you got anything out of this video, I just want to commend you for making it to the end, because obviously you're not triggered by me saying that drugs are just an escape, so you're not subscribing to that. And yeah, pass this on maybe to somebody else who's like, definitely don't pass this on to somebody who loves drugs. They're just going to hate you. But pass it on to somebody who's in the transition of freeing themselves from all of their love of different substances. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear any insights that you have. You can argue with me if you want, but I'm probably not going to engage in that unless there's something really intriguing and well thought out, where it's like the person isn't just reacting because they love drugs. Like, it's got to actually have some substance to it. Isn't that like a funny play on words? And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out my website, kailives.com. I need to update it again with more information, and continue to do whatever it is that we're doing here. There's so many things going on that the journal doesn't really matter anymore. That's why I'm getting more fearless with it. But as soon as one of these videos takes off, I'm gonna probably go through that whole, oh my god, like, delete everything because the world's looking at you. But I'm pretty determined not to do that again. Like, I'm pretty determined to stand my ground and be like, yep, that's what I said, that's what I did. And I'm gonna keep moving forward. And if I make mistakes, that's cool. If I do a really good job, that's awesome. I'm just gonna be me. Woohoo!